Some women are starting to realize that what they once believed would empower them might not be working out as planned. We're looking at moments where women openly regret feminism, and their reactions say it all. Let's get into it.
I'm just so desperate for a husband, and there's a lot of pressure around me, so if you can deal me and propose, I swear I'll behave and I'll marry you immediately. I'll wash your clothes, I'll cook for you, I'll have your children, and I'll be obedient.
Well, well, well.
It's all fun and games till the army starts drafting.
Feminism is the worst thing that ever happened to women. Our job used to be no job. We had it so good. But then all these women had to show off and be like, we could do it. We could do anything. Shut up.
Women. Good luck doing everything. Each is on their own now.
Want to know what shoveling a ton of gravel? That who the are the women that want equal rights? The women's movement. Who wanted to do the man's work? Because I'd rather be inside making sandwiches and serving iced tea. I don't want any part of being equal. I will make sandwiches. I will cook dinner. I will wear an apron. I will clean house. I'll vacuum. I'll do whatever I gotta do to keep from shoveling rock.
Damn.
And the difference between TikTok and Facebook is after I get to I'm going to get on Facebook and brag about everything I accomplished and how happy I am. But just know the truth. I'm pissed.
Damn!
I'm not happy. It doesn't make me feel good.
At least it's a good exercise. Trust me, it'll get easier with time, and you'll build muscle mass.
I think men are better than women.
She's kidding.
No, I'm not. They provide for us, and we must obey them because they are our masters.
Let me tell you something. You women from the 60s really messed up my life goals. I want to stay at home and clean the house, take care of the kids, have dinner ready for your husbands when they got home from work. That is all I want to do.
Do you guys think it's too late for that? Or is there any hope left?
But no, you thought everyone wanted to be independent. I don't. I don't want to be independent. Now here I am, going to school, because I'm ready to go to college and get them a job and education. Women.
Relax.
She's kidding.
No, I'm not. They provide for us, and we must obey them because they are our masters.
April, stop it.
Okay, we're back with episode 3 of Why I Need a Man, or Women in General, or Want a Man. Not just need, but maybe just want. So, my front door. My house is from the 1920s, and the front screen door needs changed. And the whole thing is like $2,000. Just want a new screen door. Look at this thing. It's falling apart. I don't want to do that.
Trust me, I wouldn't want to do it either. I'd hire a professional because that would waste so much time and effort.
I don't like to do that. So yeah, reason number 3 of why having a man around is a great thing. And women do need them. That's it.
Well, I'm out, man.
They're strong and independent. They got this. Men don't want submissive wives. They want loving human beings who remember that their feelings aren't the only ones that matter.
Hi guys. I'm so sad right now because I just came to a realization these past few days have been so hard for me. Because how men say that women have toxic feminism. No one will want to marry you and no one will love you. I feel like I've gotten to that point, guys. I was so hung on to this feminism and I missed out on marriage. I'm so jealous of people who have marriages because they're so happy. And men are just the best. Right now is when I'm realizing I can't do without them.
Sadly, that is called the point of no return.
If you are rich or poor, tall, dark, handsome, ugly, I don't care, by the way. As long as you're a man and you're breathing, that's the only qualification I need because I'm just so desperate for a husband and there's a lot of pressure around me. So
I wonder what her standards were before this.
you can DM me and propose. I swear I'll behave and I'll marry you immediately. I'll wash your clothes, I'll cook for you, I'll have your children and I'll be obedient.
What?
I'm no longer a feminist, guys. I'm sorry.
This is just sad to watch, actually.
Feminism is the worst thing that ever happened to women. Our job used to be no job. We had it so good. We could have done the smart thing. And all these women had to show off and be like, we could do it. We could do anything. Shut up. Don't tell them the secrets. They ruined it for us.
That trick no longer works.
Now we're expected to work. When I hear the phrase double income household, I want to throw up. A lot of women get very upset with me about those comments. A lot of my friends, when we walk around together, they'll get very judgmental about housewives that we'll see on the street. And they'll be like, look at that housewife not doing anything. Look at that housewife just walking around all day, getting massages in her Lululemon pants. Like, that is a genius. She's not a housewife, she's retired.
Women.
Now they wish to be in her place.
My husband and I split all the chores equally. There's no like man chores or woman chores. This is not the 1950s.
I think men are better than women.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
She's kidding.
No, I'm not. They provide for us, and we must obey them because they are our masters.
April, stop it.
Listen, if I get drafted, I'm just gonna warn y'all right now. Do not put me like the bomb squad or something. Do not give me that level of... Do not put me near any explosives. I should not be trusted. Joe Biden, listen to me. Do not let them put me near explosives. I will fuck up somehow. I do not perform well under pressure. And I have ADHD. I get easily distracted. The last thing you want me to do is handle an explosive, okay? In the kitchen, like have me like scrubbing like the dishes or like something. Do not put me near explosives. I'm warning y'all right now.
Don't worry. They will give you proper training and you'll be just fine.
Return something with that? Yeah, I'm here to return this. I saw what was I just would like to return this. I don't want it anymore. So you can just have that. I'm good.
Your offer has been declined. Can someone explain what she meant here?
Feminism. Feminism is a scam. It was originally a good thing. It meant for you to go out and get education, to leave the house on your own, to be able to vote, to get health care. It was not meant for you to go and work your butt off to come home and put food on the table. It's not your job. It's not your job to put a roof on the family's head. This is the man's job. Stop fighting.
You're broke! You're f***ing poor!
To get the same rights as men. Stop fighting to be head to head with a man. Stop fighting to pay the bills or 50-50 and getting all those men's rights. You are a woman. You are a precious, beautiful, soft thing.
And you know what though? That's typically how the bullshit goes. You feel me?
Your job is to make a house that a man provides a home.
We do it because it's our purpose. And if we don't do it, no one will do it for us.
To have kids, to raise those kids without issues, to raise kids that do good in the community, that are mentally stable, that are emotionally stable, that don't grow up and Mike tells you I want to be Michelle and Michelle tells you I want to be Mike. Take care of your family. Stop fighting for rights that are not meant for you.
Jokes aside, I agree. Each should do their part, and everything will be just fine.
But it did get me thinking, and I did write an article that I think will come out soon about the downfall of living a selfish, me-focused life, you know? And it does, I mean, for me, it's definitely started to feel hollow and meaningless. And, you know, it's taken me to this point in my life to realize that's not a life that's going to bring you happiness. I mean, and maybe it does for some people. I honestly have a hard time believing that. If I thought I would spend the rest of my life alone, if I didn't think that I would get married and have children, I would be devastated. So I was constantly fed this idea that women can do everything. We don't really need men. Women can have the great career and have the kids that they like and change the tires and do this. I mean, I grew up thinking, and men are great, but like I can do all the same things. Like I do feel in many ways betrayed by that line of thinking.
She looks young, in her early 30s. There is still hope to turn her life around.
Women are literally driving the human race towards extinction at the moment in the biggest case of around and find out the world has ever seen, by refusing to have kids because they don't like the way men treat women and they don't like the way that society treats mothers. And so they're like, you know what, instead of having kids and continuing the human race, let's just go extinct. Like, let's just all go extinct. And this isn't only happening in South Korea. I don't know if you saw that report a few weeks ago that said that for the 4th year in a row, the birth rate there was dangerously low compared to the death rate. And if that continues, you end up with loads of old people and not enough young people to support them and support the economy. And then you have fewer women in each generation and fewer of them are having kids, and then eventually you go extinct. And when they're asking women in South Korea, why are you doing this, in part they're saying they don't like men, they don't like the way that men treat them, and they're like, why would I have a kid with this? I don't care if you say that we're going to go extinct. Like, I don't care if my uterus is all that stands between like us and extinction. I'm not doing it.
This is a serious matter. Not caring about the problem is a problem itself.
It's not worth it for me, so I'm not going to do it. And this is happening everywhere. Like, they reckon that by the year 2050, 75% of nations will be in the same situation, and by 2100, the year 2100, it'll be 97% of nations, because women are refusing to have kids because we're sick of this crap. Like, in my country at the moment, in Britain, the average birth rate is 1.5 children per woman, and it needs to be 2.1, and it's set to plummet to 1.3, and the same thing is going to happen in the US.
I wonder what the future is hiding for us.
Like, I could do everything by myself, that hyper-independent bullshit. And I'm 31 now, and I still don't have kids. I still don't have a family. I was focused on trying to get after the bag and all this. Yo, what? I'm in a place now in my life where I'm reevaluating everything. My values, my perspectives, what I really want in the future. And what I really want is a family. I feel like social media or just everything around us, society in general, wants to push that the woman is the future. No, the family is the future.
That's true. Family matters the most, and without it, we have nothing.
There are so many women that are going to be in this situation because they have been lied to. And there are a lot of men out there that want to have families that have been trying to say this. They have been trying to say that they just want a woman that is loving and caring in nature. They don't care if you're a boss babe. If anything, unfortunately, it might work against you. Now, for this woman, she's come to that realization with plenty of time. I think she's going to find what she wants.
All the good men are with good women.
It pisses me most off about the whole concept of feminism is that people think that it is anti-men.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, if you're for women's rights, then you're a feminist. Like, you don't have to be a woman to be a feminist. In fact, we actually need more men to be feminists.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because it has the word feminine. People think like, oh, we don't want to touch that. Like, I have a girlfriend who, she was like, oh, I'm not a feminist, but, and I was like, sorry, whoa, stop talking about. I said, what did you just say? And she said, I'm not a feminist. I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, yeah, I'm not, I don't have hairy armpits. Like, I was like, babe, like, do you understand? And I went on my Google and I was like, do you understand what feminism means? It means you are pro women's rights. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely pro women's rights. This is a woman who's a CEO of a business, like multi-million-dollar business. Oh, wow. She is like a beast, stunning, beautiful, really feminine, but an absolute animal. Like, and she's standing there going, I'm not a feminist, because in her kind of mind, she doesn't relate to like the way that is portrayed. And I was just
Yeah.
like, wow, like we need to rebrand this concept.
We know that it wasn't made for that in the start, but it lost its purpose over the years. In many cases, it became led by anger and hate, and that's where the line should be drawn.
Feminism has ruined us, and I'll tell you why. The types of issues discussed in the West seem so empty to me, to the point that it doesn't necessarily feel like we're advocating for anything that is helpful for the rest of the world. And when the West are advocating for these like really random things for women, like growing out our armpit hair or potentially free bleeding, which actually has a great origin, but it's just reduced to just free bleeding everywhere, which doesn't even make sense to me. And getting angry at men for very trivial things, especially in like when it comes to dating. People just can't get on board with it, hence why they don't like using the term I am a feminist, because for them it's embarrassing. In reality, if we take feminism in like a complete world lens, we're advocating for the economic freedom of women of colour in the global south. We're advocating for women to stop being seen as sexual objects and sex trafficked. We're advocating for stopping domestic violence. We're also advocating for women in war-torn countries to be respected and ensured that they're not abused, especially sexually. And at the same time, we want to decolonize our entire world because it's built off colonization. And when you decolonize, you're going to also be advocating for women at the same time, because you're reversing all these justifications and points of view as to why we believe, especially women of color, are less than. So when I say I am a feminist, this is what I mean. And I really wish we could steer the movement back to its original cause, because at the moment, in the West, the concept of feminism is actually ruining a lot of things.
Exactly. She made a lot of good points. If a movement strays from its original cause, it can start a lot of issues. Rebranding it would be near impossible at this point, but we never know what could happen.
I don't believe in feminism. I think that if men are willing to do more and do more, then they should make more. That's the first argument. Everybody's like, men shouldn't make more money than women. I don't want to be a carpenter. Get up for me. I want your seat. Like, there's no reason we should get rid of those pieces of chivalry all for feminism. I don't know. Like you said earlier, we're taking it too far. We're taking it too far. I think that there are certain positions in society that are comfortable for a woman, and when you start pushing the men out of the other positions, then the women have to step into the ones that are uncomfortable for women, and I'm not willing to do that.
Let's not forget the men going their own way movement, where men chase their careers, and to me, that's a good cause as long as it hurts no one.
Okay, here's why more and more young women are rejecting feminism and just like do not want to be associated with it at all. I think these younger generations have really, really good BS detectors. So on its face, feminism sounds great, right? Equality for all and girls supporting girls. That sounds so beautiful. But the second you kind of test that out, you very quickly find that it has just become a total facade. If I'm putting on makeup for my husband to come home from work, or if I'm cooking for him, they get upset. They don't like that. Like, whoever the head of PR is for feminism needs to be fired. They are doing a horrible job, because almost all of their representatives who are outspoken, they just seem so miserable, so hateful, so bitter. It doesn't look fun at all. Nothing about that sounds appealing. I think that's why we're starting to see the like trad wife stuff on TikTok, is because people are so sick of the other side, like so done with the angry, man-hating, like putting women down. Ugh, it's boring, it's old, we're done with it. You don't have to like me, you don't have to like other women on social media, you can call everybody names and be upset, but just don't pretend that you support other women, because you don't, and a lot of people are seeing right through it.
People are starting to think and break beyond the tricks and traps. And this is what some people call escaping the matrix.
Feminism is literally the destruction of our society. Society really cheated women in convincing them that they are, like, it is their world. If you are asking a woman to close herself in the sense that, no, I could do it on my own, I'm going to be independent, I don't need no man, like all of this kind of, what that does is it shields away a woman from being her true divine self.
And now, all we see is them trying to go back to the traditional lifestyle.
Guys, I went on a date this week and I felt the feminism leaving my body. I live on the east side of LA, and if you don't know what that means, it's sort of like the artsier part of LA, you know? It's people say it's like Brooklyn and New York. Like, so I go on dates with a lot of men and women who, you know, live over here. There's always a negotiation about who pays, and that's great. I like to pay for people, all that. But what I will say is that I sort of fell into going on a date with the most guy's guy I've ever been on a date with. And he's from West, you know, Santa Monica. He's a bro, right? A guy's guy is usually not my type. Like, I cannot remember the last time that I went on a date with like a straight bros bro, you know what I'm saying? But it befell me. It befell me in an organic fashion. So I'm on this date with this guy, and the thing about a guy's guy is he's putting his card down. He's paying for everything. And I really it sort of activated something feral in me, I'm not gonna lie.
Being traditional means being taken care of, being protected, loved, and so much more. So when they experience this place in life, it's hard to hate it. Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.